September is Hunger Action Month. We're down here today just talking to people and wondering if they could describe for us the person who uses a food pantry.
There are so many different people that use food pantries. It could be anybody that might need the support of a food pantry. So I would say it could be anyone, someone that maybe hasn't worked and they have a family and they need to feed them, or people that do work and they have a family and they need to feed them or themselves.
They come in all different shapes and sizes, but ultimately a lot of the folks are just struggling with meeting basic daily needs. Being able to provide for the family, being able to provide for food, clothing, and shelter. So they can be from young children, single mothers, all the way to adults living on fixed income.
Now, probably people who are probably lost their job or families who maybe because of the economy may be suffering like that.
It's just, people that's out there hungry, but their food stamps doesn't go all month, so they have to do what they have to do. Like I said, if you go hungry in Columbus, it's your own fault, because there's a lot of places that help people with food.
Do you know where a lot of the food pantries and soup kitchens are located?
I know there's one on Grub Street, there's one on South Ohio, and I don't know about the pantries. They're all over. On East Broad, they're all over.
There's the Foodbank yourself, where you have your kitchens, you have the donations, you have your stores that take in place. They go to food pantries that you supply. We got the YMCA, we got the Mission Church here in Columbus. There's multiple places where we could all go.
We also have a lot of children in our community who are hungry. So do you think it's 1 in 5, 1 in 4, or 1 in 20 children in our community who are hungry?
1 in 5?
I would go with A, 1 in 4.
That's correct. We have 1 in 4 children in our community who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Why do you think there's so many children in our community who are struggling?
There are a lot of children living in poverty, and so I would say that it's really hard for them to seek out the resources that they need, but gratefully, we have wonderful organizations that support our children and make sure that they have food to eat every day.
There's a huge causal effect between early childhood development and nutrition. Children that go to school and they go to school on an empty stomach just can't focus and don't have the learning opportunities that other kids would have. And other studies would suggest that by the age of, if you can't pass the 3rd grade reading test, the state reading test, then you're likely not to graduate high school. So nutrition's probably the catalyst for learning and the catalyst for future poverty as well.
How much do you think people get per meal on food stamps?
Per meal on food stamps, I guess that would probably be $4 maybe, $3 or $4.
$10. No idea.
Per meal, hopefully like at least $5 to $10.
Rick, I'm sorry to tell you, it's $1.34 per meal. Where do you think you'd go to get a meal?
On $1.34, there's not many places. You might get $1 hamburger at McDonald's, and that's it.
What do you think people buy with their food stamps?
Food! Hopefully good, healthy food that, is good for them and their families.
Probably for core basic necessities, I would think. Bread, milk, eggs, things like that.
I mean, they just sell their food stamps. They use food stamps for the wrong purposes.
A lot of people think that the fraud is on the person who gets the food stamps. Did you know a lot of the fraud is with the merchants? Do you think, Todd, there's any opportunity for us to ever solve hunger in our community? And if you do, how do we do that?
I think there is. There is an article in the Dispatch, and I think it was a national article about 120 billion pounds of food get wasted in the U.S. every year. So it's excess, it's thrown away, it's stale, it's rotted into the fields because of the cost to harvest. If we can solve the logistical problem of of capturing that. That could be that would solve probably hunger in America, probably potentially a dent in the whole world.
Hope we can solve it.
How do you think we do that?
People giving money.
Money? Do you know $1 donated to the food bank, we can give about 4 meals?
Boy, that's a tough question. But what the Mid Ohio Food Bank does for here in Columbus really just it just goes with my values and my beliefs and what I stand for and what I appreciate what you're doing.